Constructed in the summer of 1990 and the original site of the Briar Motorsport Park before being purchased by Bob Bear. It's round 2 of the 2017 Lazy Days Cup Series playoffs from New Hampshire Motor Speedway live on PBR Broadcasting. Welcome and thank you for joining us here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the SoMO Racing 145. I'm Stephen Parks and I'll be bringing you all the action live here tonight. Tonight's race is 145 laps, equating for just 145 miles, making it 50% of the NASCAR distance. 2 to 7 degrees of banking in the corners tonight and 1 degree of banking on the stretch will make for a tire grinding race. Look for pit cycles to be around 50 laps as tires are very important here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Guys might try to stretch that. I think we actually have that number wrong. But for more on tonight's race, let's hear from the 2017 chase driver Adam Baker.
This is Adam Baker of MB Motorsports in the PBR Chevrolet. Let's take a ride around New Hampshire. Going into turn 1, we're going to stay high in the third groove and then diamond it down to come out in the middle groove on exit. The car can get pretty loose there and get pretty upset, so you want to keep it as straight as possible. Going into turn 3, you're going to ride around in the third groove, just like in 1 and 2, but you won't diamond it quite as much as you would on that end of the track. Then bring it back out to the wall, head back down into turn 1. We might see a few cautions tonight, as drivers are going to get pretty loose coming out of turn 2, getting back on the throttle too early, or trying to turn the wheel a little too hard on exit. Going into turn 3, drivers may charge the corner a little too hard and collide on entry, or make the same mistake and get loose coming out of turn 4. That's New Hampshire. I'm Adam Baker of MB Motorsports. Thanks for taking a ride around with me.
The drivers have gone into the drivers meeting at the moment, but we'd like to thank Adam Baker for putting that little drive around New Hampshire Motor Speedway for us here tonight. And we are in round 2 of the chase this season, and after round 1 of the chase we do have our first locked driver into the Contender 12. Joe Mitchell would lock his way into the Contender 12 after a win at Chicagoland. So the rest of the drivers in order that are fighting their way into the next round would be Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayato, Stephen Burnett, Adam Baker, David Howard Jr., Lupe Gonzalez, Chris Samard, Aaron Riley, Justin Kern, Kurt Davidson, Shane Papala, Paul Zoda, David Gainforth, Lynn McNeese, and Bob Skinner. And looking at the field right now, Lynn McNeese is not on the track, so he will be our only chase driver not on the field. Bob Skinner did miss last week. He's trying to fight back in points to get his way into the Contender 12. All the chase drivers will have Monster Energy green numbers, splitters. I believe they also have the banners are Monster Energy green as well as their spoilers. So you see cars with bright green on the car, they are chase drivers. You also see the numbers up on the overlay are green, indicating they are chase drivers. And you see right now, Stephen Burnett does hold the fastest time in practice. He's got a lot of drivers that are near him in time, as we're taking a look at who's all in there right now. And actually the top really the top 10 are all chase drivers. You have to go all the way back to 14th of Jim Locking, who's the first non-chase driver out there. They are back on the track for practice. We have 7 minutes left to practice. Driver meeting over. Billy Howard making his way onto the track right now. Right now sitting with a 16th place time. So he does have a lot of, I guess you could say, distance to make up right now. But Stephen Burnett is up front in this practice session. And just some iRacing news to throw out there before we go to qualifying. It looks like they will be getting the LMP1s on the track. They announced, I believe it was this morning, that we'll be getting 2 of those cars out in the road courses. We're also going to be getting a dirt license. And top of dirt heats, I know SoMO is looking at possibly running the a dirt series in the winter. So with the addition of heats, it would definitely help those guys run that series. Because we're seeing a lot of new schemes out there tonight. Let's see. Let's take a run through the chase drivers. Why don't we? We'll go to Stephen Burnett first. He's in a new, I believe that was, we can take a look here real quick. It's not going to let us. But he is in, there we go. Race Driven Graphics. It's a new scheme he's been running this week. Going to let us, no, it won't. Well, he is running a new scheme. I don't think we saw Keith Maotto. No, Keith Maotto still running his coolers. Chris Smard, Mountain Dew. Kurt Davidson's got a new sim racing app scheme he's got on tonight. Adam Baker back to his BZ Designs. Beth Hatchell, iconic scheme he's been running here in SoMo. Lupe Gonzalez, I believe he's in a new 575 Motorsport scheme. Aaron Riley in the Lowe's tonight. Joe Mitchell in that dark Skittles. Look at scheme he's got there tonight. Justin Kern, Keen Parts. David Gainforth, Cartoon Network, old school throwback for him. David Howard Jr. has got Butler Furniture on that car tonight. And Papala in the WD-40. Bob Skinner. Not sure what he is running here tonight, but I believe that is a new scheme for him. Paul Zoda's got the SoMo Garage scheme running. I believe that will round it out for our chase drivers here tonight. So definitely a lot of, I would say, new schemes out there tonight for the chase drivers. But we have gone within 4 minutes left of practice. Let's go ahead and step away for tonight's national anthem.
Say,
We still do have 2.5 minutes left in practice. But not a whole lot has changed. A little bit quicker time put down by Chris Samard. I think it's gonna be a battle between these chase drivers trying to make their way into the contender 12. As we do have 15 drivers in that chase right now on the track. Looks like we do have 6 drivers, 21 drivers complete, 6 drivers not in the chase looking to make an upset. Because remember, some of these drivers can keep a driver out of the contender 12. Say a Bob Skinner were to win tonight, he would be automatically moved in. But if a Jeff Glockner were to win tonight, definitely would make for an upset because it wouldn't give anybody a chance to get in. There's only 4 races between each round, so definitely you got to take each race as they come and give yourself a chance to get to the next round. We're in the last minute of practice right now. Burnett looks to be holding on to that top time. That top time right now is a 28:9:54. The next fastest time will be Chris Samard, 29:9:1. Then you have Keith Matto with a, those are 28s. Keith Matto with a 28:9:98. Those are fast times for any series here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, let alone a fixed series. These guys do run a fixed setup. They do run full fuel, so they will be running these tanks dry. I know we saw in the NIS races yesterday and today, we saw a couple drivers run about halfway, 75 laps before taking their first pit stops. I don't know if we'll be seeing that here tonight, but we possibly could see 75 to 80 laps before somebody takes the tires and gets in and gets a full tank of gas. Checkered flag is out for practice. They are switching to qualifying, and I'm not sure if we're going to see full field qualifying. Yes, we are. We are going to see open qualifying. So Shane Papala out there right now. As we actually have a lot of drivers on the track at the moment, waiting for those first times to come down. Five minutes to run as many laps as you can. And we're going to see a lot of drivers put one time down, quickly get that car to the pits, and then take another time. And I may be wrong here, but I believe Burnett actually runs a faster time than he does in practice, and so does Keith Mayato, as Keith Mayato will take the pole for the moment. No change in the top two. Third place right now is Joe Mitchell, followed by Brian Neff and Chris Samard, all with sub 29s. As we are watching the number 5 right here, we'll go back to him Watch to see if he puts down a faster time than that 28.855. Great time put in there. Does he beat it? Doesn't look like he did beat it there. We didn't get a previous time there on him. Let's see if dual real timing gives us the previous time. His previous lap was a 28.983. Well, he's definitely got some room to make up there, as we're seeing a discrepancy right here. The overlay tells us 28.855, while his time in dual real timing says 28.854. Right now he is holding on to that second place position. Take a look more around the field though as we go to Adam Baker. Right now his fastest time is a 28.986. His last lap was a 28. His last lap was his fastest time. He's coming around to try to get one more lap and maybe two more. He comes across the line for it is not gonna give him his last lap time. Maybe that was an out lap for him, as he's going to come out. He's going to hit the wall, so that lap is not going to count for the 48 as well. A little bit of change in your top five, I do believe. Brian Neff, who may have been in fourth before, is still in fourth. Adam Baker in fifth. Adam Baker's lap did not count there. He hit the wall on corner exit of 2. Let's take a look to another driver on the track. We are watching Justin Kern in that number 2. Just ran. Must have been an out lap because it did not give him time. He's got 40 seconds to make one more lap around this track and try to move up from that 12th place position. As the 2 comes around, 3 and 4 will come around, he will make a time of, look at that, he does get up the board, a 28.996. The 2 puts him in 8th, as we now have 8 drivers with sub 29s. Great job by the 2, as we will be coming to the end of practice, or coming to the end of qualifying. Checkered flag is out. Qualifying is over here. And Keith Mayato will be your pole sitter here tonight. I'll take a look through the rest of the qualifying times. 16 drivers did take qualifying times. As we will wait. And actually, we are going to go straight into it. Let's take a look at tonight's starting grid. Starting on the pole tonight will be the 09 of Keith Mayato. He is racing for GAC Racing. Stephen Burnett of Max Rev Motorsports will start second. Joe Mitchell, the number 18 of MB Motorsports, will start third tonight. He is locked into the second round. Brian Neff of Can-Am Racing will start fourth. Adam Baker of MB Motorsports will start fifth tonight. Chris Samard of GAC Racing will start sixth. Seth Hatchell of MB Motorsports will start seventh. Justin Kern of Max Rev Motorsports will start eighth. Aaron Riley of SoMO Racing will start ninth. Shane Papala of MB Motorsports will start 10th. David Gainforth of GAC Racing will start 11th, and Billy Howard of SoMo Racing will start 12th. Jim Locking of GAC Racing will start 13th. Jeff Glockner of SoMo Racing will start 14th. Ryan Gemmel of MB Motorsports will start 15th tonight, and Paul Zoda of SoMo Racing will start 16th. Bob Skinner of Mayhem Motorsports will start 17th, and Lupe Gonzalez of 575 Motorsports will start 18th. David Howard Jr. of Diamond State Racing will start 19th, and Kurt Davidson of SoMO Racing will start 20th, and riding out your field tonight will be Paul Cohen of GAC Racing in 21st. And as we get ready for the green flag, we want to remind everyone at home to hit that subscribe button, because next Thursday the Lazy Days Cup Series heads back to Dover for round 3 of the chase, and you can catch all the action live here on PBR Broadcasting. And the green flag is out. 145 laps of short track action at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And Keith Mantle gets out to a great jump on the 5 of Stephen Burnett as he's going to fall into line. The battle is for 3rd at the moment. Joe Mitchell and Brian Neff side by side as they are going to clear it out and go back to single file. We are single file pretty much back through the top 10 at the moment. As we're going to have a battle for the lead. Stephen Burnett went to the inside for a moment. He's going to back out of it, though. Burnett looking to lock his way in. Keith Mayato looking to lock his way in. So Joe Mitchell looking to block somebody from locking their way in, making it 2 in a row. So for right now, the number 5 is making it work for him in 2nd. Fastest lap right now does belong to Keith Mayato after 1 lap completed. And we had the 18 go way up the track that time. He is going to give up 3rd to Brian Neff, and now he's got the 77 of Chris Samard on the inside. And it does look like the 77 of Chris Samard is going to make it work for him early on in this race. That low line is going to come into play later on when it's going to get hard to hold that car down there. And Joe Mitchell's going to earn that spot back for 4th. Looking around at the movers right now, Ryan Gimmel up 2 spots already early in this race as he is up into 13th, passing Paul Zoda, and actually he's past Jeff Blocker and Jim Locking. Justin Kern also making his way through the field. He has gained another position up to 7th. Five laps in the books already, and it's all belonged to Keith Mayato so far here tonight. As we're seeing Burnett edge close to him on corner exit. Doesn't have enough coming off the corner though. Paul Zoda's got to fight back here with Lupe Gonzalez. They're side by side right now. The only side by side action at the moment. And it's going to clear out to go single file. Go back through the top 5. The only movement really is from 3rd back to 6th. And early on in this race, let's take a look and listen to the sounds of the track. As we see the battle starting to heat up for that top position. And back in 3rd, Brian Neff is going to give up the outside to Joe Mitchell. Chris Samard trying to sneak in there as well. And it looks like it will be Mitchell in third when they cross the stripe. Chris Samard's also moved ahead of Brian Neff. But Brian Neff starting to fall through the field. Keith Mato still making it work for him up in the front. Barnett, though, is still right there on his back bumper. Joe Mitchell starting to work back through the field. He's looking for 2 in a row. As we don't really have any big movers through the field right now for the Hard Charger Award. It is Chris Samard with +4 or +2. As he is in 4th at the moment. Then you go back to 13th with Ryan Gemmel +2. 15th is Bob Skinner +2 and Lupe Gonzalez +2. And still pretty much the whole track single file. And just about roughly 9.5 seconds separate the field. Lupe Gonzalez. Ryan Gemmel spins, and we're going to have our first caution. We're actually looking to go to Lupe Gonzalez and clicked on his name, so we will look back and see what happened with our first caution of the night. I'm not sure if we missed it or is coming up. Coming off of turn 2. See if maybe we can flip to. Okay, it was just a self spin. Nobody involved in it. Doesn't look like the 6 took any damage there, but he is definitely gonna fall to the back. We'll now go back to live action. As we are on pit road, let's take a look at the pit stop times. And who is going to make it off pit road first? And Shane Papala actually stays out. And Jim Lockey will also go and stay out. So 2 drivers did stay out there. Other than that, the biggest move on pit road was Joe Mitchell moving ahead of Stephen Burnett, and also Seth Hatchell would move his way. He gained, I believe that is 2 positions, as now the 91 of Jim Locking down pit road. So Jim Locking will go to the back of the field, as he is the only driver pitting the second time around. And we already have pace lights out. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing already. Seems like these guys only took 2 laps there. And Shane Papala elects to take that top side. Shane Papala will be our only other driver with laps led other than Keith Mayato right now. Stephen Burnett inching closer to the back bumper. There goes the pace car. And we're back to green flag racing here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Stephen Burnett giving the 89 a good shove on the start. And it looks like Brian may have gotten rear-ended by the 60 of Brian Neff there. little bit of movement through the field. Lupe Gonzalez, though, up to +5 on his day here today. Joe Mitchell will get past Steve Burnett for the moment. Brian Neff looks like he bounced off the wall coming off of turn number 4. He's able to reel that car back in, and it is Seth Hatchell on his inside line. A lot of movement right now from these cars coming off the corners. As Burnett and Joe Mitchell trying to get around Shane Paul, looks like they will. Well, the moment they're both going to fall in line in front of the 89, who stayed out, took some tires. Keith Mayato back in the lead for the moment. Looking back near Lupe Gonzalez, actually Lupe is going to gain another position. He is up into 12th as he gets around Billy Howard. He is now +6 for the night. Chris Samar gets around Justin Kern for the moment. Justin Kern will fight back for that position as he's got Adam Baker right behind him. It looks like the two may pinch the 77 down a little bit. Try to get a run off the corner. And he will make it clear the 77 going into turn 1. Smart is trying to fight back, but he will fall into line as well. Looking up to Seth Hatchell. He's trying to get around the 60 of Brian Neff. Alzoda gains a spot as he is actually in a battle right now with the 51 of Paul Cohen. Because we've got a lot of battles through the field right now, even in the back, as really the last 5 cars all battling for position. Go back up front to Keith Mayato as he's got Joe Mitchell on his bumper at the moment. Justin Kern lets the 77 by once again to go back up to him as Kern's still fighting on that outside line. 77 down low still. We saw a little bit of wiggle there from the 77 about mid-corner, and that's where you're going to see those tires start to wear in. Dirt move by the 77 puts it right in front of Justin Kern. And Baker's going to start to look on the inside and maybe try to work for him. As Keith Mayato now giving up time to Joe Mitchell. And Seth Hatchell will make his way into the top 5, getting around Brian Neff. Sure what happened to Ryan Gemmel, but he is slow right now down on the apron. Looks like he may be coming to pit road, and he is the 6 coming down pit road. Looks like an unscheduled stop, but we'll go back up front because the battle right now is up here. And I believe the whole field is really getting closer to Keith at the moment. So you got to start to wonder, has the 09 burned up his tires early on in this run? As they've now hit lap 25 And biggest movers right now is Shane Paula with +6. So right now he is running in 4th, even though he did not hit that last time. Lupe Gonzalez with +6 and David Howard Jr. with +6. Both of those guys, actually all 3 of them, are chase drivers, all looking to lock their way in the next round. Billy Howard will drop 2 positions to Bob Skinner and Kurt Davidson. As Joe Mitchell is going to lose a lot of time now to Keith Mato. Looks like he may have snapped a little loose coming off the corner, because he is going to drop way back. Paul Zota just in a fight. Actually, Paul Zota may be running into trouble. He's still on the track. He is just giving up a couple positions here and there. So he will move back to 19th for the moment. Lupe Gonzalez up to 11th. And we saw Lupe last year actually go through the chase, not get a win in the chase, and still win the championship. So can he go the season without winning the race and still make the chase? Or still make the championship? Not sure right now, but we'll go back up front to Keith Mayato in front. Joe Mitchell right behind him. Keith Mato is giving a lot of time up front right now. Joe Mitchell starting to struggle. Actually, he is a lot closer than the time leads us to believe. Steve Burnett is behind him in 3rd. Shane Papala in 4th, and Seth Hatchell will round out your top 5. As we'll watch this battle right here for the 4th position at the moment. And we did see, actually we have a battle going on right now. Let's see if we can flip to it. It is Lupe Gonzalez. Lupe Gonzalez on the inside of Aaron Riley. They are battling for that top 10 position. Because right now it is Lupe Gonzalez still on the inside. And we actually see Lupe drop behind Aaron Riley now, as Keith Mayato is starting to give up more time once again to Joe Mitchell. As we saw my auto out to a 0.7 second lead for a moment. That has closed up to a 0.4. And early on in this race, let's take a run through the field and see where everybody sits. Keith Mano up front has led 33 laps now. He started on pole. Joe Mitchell, who started third, up to second. Stephen Burnett started second, back to third. Seth Hatchell from 4th to 7th tonight. Shane Papala from 10th up to 5th with 3 laps led. Chris Samard started 6th, 6th, and 6th. Adam Baker from 5th back to 8th. Justin Kern from 8th back to 9th. Aaron Riley from 9th back to 10th. Lupe Gonzalez from 18th to 11th. David Gainforth from 11th back to 12th. David Howard Jr. from 19th up to 13th here tonight. Kurt Davidson from 20th to 14th. Bob Skinner from 17th to 15th. Billy Howard from 12th back to 16th. Jim Locking from 13th all the way back to 17th. Paul Cohen from 21st up to 18th tonight. Jeff Glockner from 14th to 19th. Paul Zoda from 16th to 20th here tonight. And off the track is Ryan Gimmel, who started 15th, now shows as 21st. And he has taken his car behind the wall, so he will finish the night 21st. Tough break for the 6 car out there tonight. But Keith Maito is still logging laps as we have hit lap 40. And your fastest time still does belong to Keith Maito with a 29.106. And he ran the fastest lap that last time around with a 29.921. But we are still seeing Joe Mitchell inch closer. As it would be Joe Mitchell with the fastest lap last time around. Actually, we will make it Seth Hatchell with the fastest time around. Down to 3/10 now for Keith Maito with Joe Mitchell behind him. Still have a long way left in this race. But we have stayed green flag for quite some time. One caution here tonight, and it was the 6 of Ryan Gimmel who went for a spin. Unfortunately, Ryan Gimmel has disconnected, so we won't be able to we won't be able to talk to him to see what happened to him on that corner. But we're waiting for this battle to maybe heat up, looking through the rest of the field. Where is our next battle at? And you might want to put it back to Lupe Gonzalez, Aaron Riley for that top 10 position, as Lupe is still looking to make a run on that inside line. He's peeking in. Is he going to try it this time? He will. He's got the back bumper the front bumper into the back bumper. Down into 3 and 4 they go, coming off the corner. Can he hold it? As they will give it back to Aaron Riley coming off the corner. They are going to keep battling for that position. As we are getting near a possible lead change, we're going to go back up front because they have closed it within 2/10 of each other now. Joe Mitchell looking for a way around the 09. And he's actually going to give up a lot of time coming off of 2. As we watch this battle unfold, we're going to go to our trivia question for the night. Which driver has the most chase wins? Stay tuned for the answer on lap 125. And it's the answer to that is there's no question who has that answer. But stay tuned here because on lap 125, the answer will be revealed. Battle has kind of died off for that top position. We do have a change in the top 5 though. Seth Hatchell passes up Stephen Burnett for the 3rd position. As Hatchell's looking for his way into the contender 12. As he is making pretty good headway right now on getting past Burnett and putting some space between them, as he has already almost put a second between those two. As we could see drivers coming in really within the next 20 laps. Depending on how long they do want to stay out, they do have 37 laps on their tires. One driver has almost 50. He's Stephen Burnett. Burnett back, or not Burnett, but Papala. Shane Papala is back in 6th. He's got 50 laps on those tires now. He's got the oldest tires on the track. Keith Mayato has 38.7, almost 38 or 39 laps on those tires. And I believe in pre-race we talked about between 50 and 75 you'd see these drivers run. Paul Zota is going to get around Paul Buzz Cohen. Lupe Gonzalez also back into the fight with Aaron Riley. Or excuse me, not Aaron Riley. He's now with Justin Kern as he's going to try to make his way into 9th. Lupe will actually clear the 2 of Justin Kern. Now, the 2's going to go for a spin. And it looks like he caught it. Nice driving there by the 2 of Justin Kern. Take a look back around the field as it does look like David Howard Jr. is going to try to fight the 2 into the corner. Keith Mayato has opened up his lead. Joe Mitchell in 2nd. Seth Hatchell in 3rd. Chris Smart in 4th, and Burnett back to 5th. Now 42 laps on almost everybody's tires. 55 almost on the 89 of Shane Papala. Your fastest lap belongs to Lupe Gonzalez back in 9th, as he is now +9 for the night. look to see where our battles are, as we have started to pretty much spread out throughout the field, but right now the battle is here between 11th and 13th as David Howard Jr. is trying to get around the two Justin Kern. It doesn't look like the 7 of David Howard Jr. is really fighting too much to get around the 2 of Justin Kern. As now he's got the 101 of David Gainforth on that inside line. We're looking for that inside line. These are all chase drivers back here from 11th to 14th battling for position. Billy Howard finally dips down in the pit road. He's had enough of those tires. He will come in and get some fresh tires and a full tank of fuel. He is back in 20th now. As he is still on pit road, he's about to go a lap down, and he will. As Keith Meidel comes right around on the track. But we have seen our first driver come down pit road 46 laps into that run. Shane Papala is still almost to 60. So he is on his original set of tires. So 19 cars do remain on that lead lap. 1 car, 1 lap down. As that would be Billy Howard. And I do believe Billy Howard might be close to getting the lap back. No, he is back here with Paul Buzz Cohen. As he's actually in danger of going 2 laps down. As Lupe Gonzalez did make his way up into 8th. He is now plus 10 for the night. And we'll take a run through the field for the moment as we'll wait for about another 10 more laps. But Keith Meidel is up front. He is really pushed out to a pretty good lead. James Papala is going to make his way around Burnett now. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Stephen Burnett coming down pit road shortly. He has dropped 4 positions ever since really coming off pit road. As they are now at 50 laps on this set of tires. And I would look maybe 72. We see drivers coming down pit road to call it good for the night if we stay green. But right now, Shane Papala is still on those original tires, 63 laps. He's got about 12 more laps more than any other driver on the track. Billy Howard still has, he's only got 4 laps on his set of tires. He is the first taker to the pits. Lupe Gonzalez is on a charge right now. He's going to get past Adam Baker to move up into 7th. And if we have a caution, that 53 is on a mission, and he may be dangerous near the end of this race. As we do have Paul Cohen going a lap down. So that'll take Billy Howard out of the lucky dog position for the moment. But it does look like Paul Zoda is not far from getting lapped as well. Yeah, you can see Keith Matto right behind him. Keith Matto, though, out to almost a 2-second lead on the field, as Joe Mitchell is still back there in second. Lupe Gonzalez is starting to back away from the 48. So right now, Lupe is about 9 seconds back from Keith Mayato. And actually, Seth Hatchell is getting near Joe Mitchell. As this is the closest battle at the moment between Joe Mitchell and Seth Hatchell. And the last lap, it does still belong to Keith Mato. Looking at times here now, Lupe Gonzalez. Excuse me, that would be Seth Hatchell with the fastest time of a 30.186. As Paul Zoda now moves into the lucky dog position, going a lap down. We are still paying attention to this second place battle. Back in the field, Justin Kern and David Gainforth are fighting it out. So let's go back and watch that fight go on right now. As it is going to clear out for the moment. 101's going to try to slide back in the middle of the corner, but it's not going to work. Go back to this battle here for a second because Seth Hatchell is on a mission. We could have Keith Mato, Seth Hatchell, and Lupe Gonzalez in the top three come to finish, but they have got a long ways to go to make that happen. As Seth Hatchell is going to clear the 18 pretty easily, and that'll put Seth Hatchell into second, Joe Mitchell back to third, Chris Samard in fourth, and Shane Papala in fifth. Justin Kern and Kurt Davidson are going at it now. As we have now hit lap 74, and we've got 61 lap old tires, 73 laps for Shane Papala. Let's take a run through of the field as we are past halfway. And Keith Mayato, 70 laps left for him here tonight. He is 1 lap away from locking the most laps led here tonight. He started on the pole as well, 71 laps led for Keith. Seth Hatchell has moved his way up into second. He started 7th tonight. Joe Mitchell saw him up in second for a while. He is back in third. Chris Samard will be in fourth after starting 6th. Shane Papala from 10th up to 5th. He is the only other driver to lead laps. He's got 5 laps led. Stephen Burnett started second. He's coming down pit road. He was in 6th. He's going to give it up to Lupe Gonzalez, who's now in 6th. Adam Baker will be scored as 7th after starting 5th. Aaron Riley started 9th tonight, now up to 8th. Brian Neff from 4th to 9th. David Howard Jr. from 19th to 10th. David Gainforth from 11th is now in 11th. Justin Kern started 8th, now in 12th. Kurt Davidson started 20th, he is now up in 13th. Bob Skinner from 17th to 14th. Jim Locking from 13th back to 15th. Jeff Glockner, who started 18th, he is now in 16th in the last car in the lead lap. Paul Zoda from 16th back to 18th. Paul Cohen from 21st back to 19th. Stephen Burnett is actually back in 19th at the moment. Billy Howard is currently scored as your last driver. Started 12th, now in 20th. As we're seeing a lot of drivers coming down pit road. Looks like the 24 of Jeff Glockner coming down pit road. And it looks like he may have thought about it. Drivers who have taken the pit road: Shane Papala, Stephen Burnett, Lupe Gonzalez, and Kurt Davidson all have gone down pit road. They are making their way through the field now. Justin Kern dips down into pit road. So the first driver who has pitted, the highest scoring driver right now would be Stephen Burnett in 14th. Other drivers taking the pit road: Adam Baker and Aaron Riley also coming down. David Gainforth will join them as well. So that'll leave 7 on the lead lap. 68 laps on those tires for Keith Mayo as he hits lap 81. Your highest scoring driver who has pitted is still Stephen Burnett. Jim Locking, Jeff Wagner, and Paul Zoda all ahead of Stephen Burnett have yet to pit. Other drivers down pit road: Seth Hatchell. Try to find Seth Hatchell here. He is coming down pit road along with Jeff Glockner coming down pit road again. So he may have had a speeding penalty. Paul Buzz Cohen also coming down pit road. Make it 5 drivers on the lead lap. Here comes the leader, Keith Mayo down pit road. Bob Skinner will also come down pit road. That'll give the lead up to Joe Mitchell for his first laps led here tonight. That is also going to give a lot of drivers we still have 4 drivers on the lead lap. And it looks like the 18 may be coming down. He is. So is the 77 following on. David Howard Jr. has gone down pit road. Seth Hatchell gets back on the lead lap, as Seth Hatchell somehow makes it out in pretty good fashion. He is quite the ways away, quite the ways ahead of Burnett at the moment. Joe Mitchell and Chris Samard both down pit road. So Keith Mayo will go back to the lead. Paul Zoda staying out as long as he can. He is up in 4th at the moment. He's got a lot of cars behind him now. On those fresh tires, he drops to the inside and lets him by. Shane Papala, Stephen Burnett quickly by Paul Zoda as he's now going to come down pit road. So Burnett up to 3rd. he has got the lap car of Jim Locking in front of him at the moment. Taking a look through the top 5, Keith Motto is back up front. But he's got Seth Hatchell right behind him. Then you have Stephen Burnett in third, Shane Papala in fourth, Joe Mitchell back in fifth. Joe Mitchell up into fourth, getting around Shane Papala. He's going to scrape the wall coming off the corner. No damage done to that car or Shane, so they will continue to race. One caution here tonight, 86 laps in the books. As now the 18 is going to try to get around the 5 of Stephen Burnett. And surprisingly, we're not seeing Seth Hatchell push very far near Keith Motto. Actually, we are seeing him drop in about a second, so maybe we are starting to see something happen here with the 8 to push forward as he's going to take a 10th off of Keith Motto. And he's going to give it all back going into the corner. So we are definitely seeing Seth Hatchell push forward and try to get to Keith Motto. I'm not sure if he has quite enough though. And then it is a pretty big gap back to Joe Mitchell, who's currently in third. This is a pretty good battle right here for the 4th position between Stephen Burnett, Shane Papala, and Chris Samard. And it will still be Burnett in front of that pack there. Let's go back out front though, because Keith Motto is losing a little bit of time. And you gotta start to wonder, is Seth pushing too much too early here when Keith, or is Keith burning his tires up, trying to stay ahead of Seth? As we saw the 82 of Bob Skinner actually clip the wall back there. As it is now down to a 4/10 second gap. As Keith's going to extend it back out to a 5-second. Not a lot of movement through the field right now. As, let's see where our biggest battle is, actually right here. Stephen Burnett, Chris Samard. They were side by side for a moment. They're going to clear it out, and Burnett will move back to 6th. For another battle. Don't really have any close battles other than right here when you watch it. We'll actually take a look at the 3-car battle right here between Chris Samard, Stephen Burnett, and Lupe Gonzalez. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but the caution here could really shake things up and put a lot of fast cars back near Keith Motto. But Seth Hatchell has been putting on quite a show with, we'll go up to Keith to see the distance between them. As we're seeing it really fluctuate back and forth, you see Keith Mato up in that top groove, and he actually loses a lot of time up there. They have now hit lap 96. As Keith Milo trying to get around the lap car of Billy Howard. Looked like Keith Milo may have ran into a little bit of trouble with that, but it would close the gap down to 2/10 on Seth Hatchell and Keith Milo. Oldest tires on the track with 38 laps down on those. He is the lucky dog right now, so he just went a lap down. As you see just how far back even fourth place Shane Papala is right now. He was coming off of turn 2 as Keith was going into turn 1. And we are going to take a run through the field here. As next time around, we will be on 45 to go here tonight. 100 laps will be in the books. Keith Mato has led 94, coming around to make 95 laps led. Started on the pole and really hasn't looked back since. Seth Hatchell has gone from 7th up to 2nd tonight. Joe Mitchell started in 3rd, still sits in 3rd with 2 laps led. Shane Papala from 10th up to 4th. Chris Samard from 6th up to 5th tonight. Stephen Burnett from 2nd back to 6th. Lupe Gonzalez from 18th up to 7th. He's trying to get around the 5 of Stephen Burnett right now. Adam Baker from 5th to 8th. Aaron Riley started in 9th, still sits in 9th. Brian Neff started 4th tonight, back in 10th. David Howard Jr. started 19th up to 11th. Kurt Davidson started 20th up in 12th. David Gainforth is your last driver on the lead lap. Started 11th back to 13th. Justin Kern started 4th tonight. He is the lucky dog at the moment. He is currently in 14th. Billy Howard started 12th tonight, up into 15th. Bob Skinner started 17th. He is currently sitting in 16th. Jim Lockton started 13th tonight. He is back in 17th. Paul Zoda started 16th, back in 18th now. Jeff Glockner started 14th, back in 19th. And your last driver, started 21st, now in 20th. So Keith Mato has set sail for the moment, as he is 6/10 ahead of the field. Looking at the chase bracket right now, if I had to choose 4 drivers that are going to make it to the end, I've got to go with Keith Mato being one of those drivers. And obviously, I think we'll see Joe Mitchell in one of those final 4 spots. He's had a great season. And if Joe Mitchell doesn't make it, I think we see Burnett maybe fill that position. And then I would say for the last 2 spots, you got to take Seth Hatchell for one of them. So let me go over this again. Keith Matto, either Stephen Burnett or Joe Mitchell. Seth Hatchell has got to be one. And I got to put last year's champion in there, Lupe Gonzalez. As he has shown he's been able to come on strong. Right now he is running in 7th. As he's still trying to get around Stephen Burnett. But all it takes is a late season run. He's in the chase. You just got to get a couple wins. Maybe even one. To get that chance at another championship. Keith Matto starting to work on the 101 of David Gainforth, trying to put him a lap down. We do have 13 drivers on the lead lap. As the 101 of David Gainforth's going to let him by pretty easily here. But he is going to go way up the hill, almost into that top lane. And that is going to allow Seth Hatchell to kind of close that gap a little bit, but it looks like he's going to go right back out to a pretty good lead. Still only one caution here tonight. We'll look really quick to see when that happened. Caution was back on lap 10, so we have now gone 100 laps in this thing without a caution. We are starting to see that gap close a little bit, and actually Seth Hatchell ran 0.2 faster than my auto that last lap, and we're going to see it close to 3 at times. Down to 0.3 now, as really Seth Hatchell still running 2/10 faster than Keith Matto at the moment. As we're starting to see the 8 kind of crank it up and maybe try to make something happen. And speaking of crank it up, let's go ahead and take a look at the track sounds right now. we are still seeing Seth Hatchell run faster laps. He is clipping into that lead. And I think for a second there we saw a .2. Looking at the lap times as they come in, it is Seth Hatchell once again running about a little over half a tenth faster, so he's definitely clipped into that as we are now seeing .2 show up at times. And we are going to see that come down even more as Keith Milo struggles coming off the corner. Yeah, his fastest lap will once again belong to Seth Hatchell. Down to .1. Here we go. The battle is on for the lead. We haven't seen anybody push Keith this much since the start of the race, as we saw it down almost to less than a tenth. We're seeing it extend back out to 2/10. I think we're starting to see the 09 struggle on corner exit, as that fastest lap did belong. That one actually belonged to Keith that time around. Saw Seth Hatchell snap a little loose there on corner exit. We're sticking with this battle because this is the battle on the track right now. Lupe Gonzalez did make it up into the top 5. But really, we are spread out through the field. Seth Hatchell looking to upset Keith Mayato, who has led 116 laps now. We are on lap 122. And Seth Hatchell is going to use that lap car to his advantage. He's going to get a pretty good exit. And Keith Mayato is back to putting time on him. Yeah, Keith Mayato is going to run a little bit faster than Seth Hatchell that time around. Back to 2/10. It does look like Seth Hatchell will run the faster time. And yes, just barely, we are seeing Seth Hatchell claw his way back into Keith Mayato's lead. And I believe this time, this corner exit, we will see how much these tires are given, and we are seeing Seth Hatchell come right back into it. He runs a 29. So a sub 30 put down by the 8. And we're seeing, oh, we are going to see a battle down the front stretch now, as we saw Keith Milo go up to that third, maybe fourth lane. And Seth Hatchell able to keep it down into the middle. We're going to go to the trivia question really quick. Who has the most chase wins? Jimmy Johnson with 28 wins for his career. But right now it is definitely a battle to who can get the contender 12 slot for a win. As we're seeing it once again, the 09 way up the track. We are going to see that come down to 3. They almost went side by side coming out of the corner. Will once again, I believe, be Seth Hatchell with the fastest time. Yes, Seth Hatchell ran 0.2 faster than Keith that time. So we are seeing the 09 start to struggle here with 19 to go. As now we're going to see the 8 go way up the track. He is looking for a way to make this work for him. As the 09 is going to snap a little bit loose coming off the corner. That is going to check out Seth just enough. As we are seeing these guys go way up the track now. Last lap did belong to Keith Mayato. These guys went back and forth for the most wins this year. It does belong to Keith Mayato at the moment. And the fastest lap has got to belong to Seth Hatchell that time, and it does 0.2 faster. We saw it dip down to a 10th between them. As Seth Hatchell looking for that inside line. Can he make it stick this late in the run? 46 laps on those tires, but actually Seth Hatchell's got one more lap than Keith. To the inside he goes. Doesn't make it stick quite yet. And I think that lap will go to, barely goes to Keith Mayato, as they will have 4 hundredths separate them. 16 to go now at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 0.2 separates them. See it go down even more. It'll be interesting to see who had the fastest lap that time, and it was barely Seth Hatchell. So these guys are trading laps back and forth, and it looks like Seth Hatchell may have dropped back just a little bit. You see him on that top line once again. Looked like the leader was going to get checked up by the 60 for the moment, and that'll give a lot of time to Seth Hatchell, almost below a 10th now, as they both ran 30.2s. The advantage would go to Seth Hatchell though. That was the 60. Brian Neff making contact with the wall back there. Seth Hatchell right on that back bumper of the 09, goes to the inside, looks to the inside, doesn't have quite enough, but brings it down to looked like a .11 for the moment. Fastest lap did once again go to Seth Hatchell. We're seeing Mayato with the advantage off of turn 2, and it looks like Hatchell with the advantage off of turn 4. As Mayato is going to take a big leap forward, a 10th faster than Hatchell that time around. And it looks like Keith maybe snapped loose there, because he's going to give up a ton of time now to Seth Hatchell. As we're seeing Hatchell dig it in deep, trying to make the 09 maybe push too hard. I believe that one is going to belong to Hatchell. It does. 11 to go now for these two battling up front. Hatchell's going to give up a lot of time on corner entry. He goes to the inside. Doesn't have quite enough, but he got real close to Keith Motto that time around. 10 to go now. As we're seeing kind of each driver do the opposite. We're seeing Hatchell take the high line out of 1 and 2. Actually, Maiato is still snapping loose coming off of 2. But then we see the opposite. Maiato go to the high line. Seth Hatchell try to dive it in deep coming off the corner. And he's going to do it right now. Doesn't have quite enough. He's going to give up some time now. That lap advantage will go to Maiato. Actually, we talked about it just a second ago. Seth Hatchell took the inside line, and he actually got quite a good run on Hatchell, or on Maiato. Hatchell now, he almost did the opposite that lap. He did exactly what Maiato's been doing. As we saw Maiato now hit the wall. So 8 laps to go, make it 7. And this battle is still going on as they're going to get lap traffic involved in it. With David, that is David Howard Jr. and Shane Papala. That is 10th and 9th. They are battling for position. They are chase cars. It looks like they're going to give it up for Keith Maiato, who's going to get pinned down on the inside. That is going to give Seth Hatchell a chance to gain a lot of time. A little bit of wiggle from the 09. Hatchell's almost going to get stuck behind Paula, but he won't. And he will actually gain a lot of time on Maiato that lap around. 6 to go as we have 8 laps, or 8 drivers remaining on that lead lap. Maiato way up the track. Looks like he's getting loose. It will be Hatchell to the inside line. Side by side they go. As Hatchell is not going to have quite enough down there right now. But he definitely gave the 09 of Keith Maiato a scare. Five to go now for Keith Maiato. 135 laps led for him here tonight. We're going to see that gap close up once again. 4 to go. We're going to see more lap traffic getting involved here. Saw one dip way down low. Guess that was Paul Cohen. Seth Hatchell's going to try to shoot the gap. Not going to quite make it work. Number 3 to go. Keith Maiato back into the wall once again. We're seeing just how much of a different line Seth Hatchell is taking up as opposed to Keith Maiato. As you see Seth Hatchell almost a complete lane down. He's not getting the corner exit speed though to make it work. 2 to go now for Keith Maiato. And Seth Hatchell's going to snap loose. He's going to gain control of it. And that should pretty much do it for Keith Maiato. He's going to have one more lap to go around as he looks to mark his way into the contender 12. White flag is out. Half a second separates him now. as now Keith Mato comes around to the checkered flag. And Keith Mato will be your winner here tonight. You will be the winner of the SoMO Racing 145 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back afterwards with tonight's interviews. All right, and we are going to bring Keith Mato in here. Keith Mato, you got a copy?
10-4.
Well, you definitely had to battle it out for that win tonight, but you do lead 140 laps. How was the track out there tonight?
Track was actually pretty good. Setup was pretty consistent throughout the race, which was nice. It had a tendency to snap loose once in a while when you're pushing it on exit, but other than that, it felt good.
Now, we kind of saw you up front for a while. I mean, at one point, I do believe you had a 2-second lead. It was after the green flag stopped tonight where things really heated up for you and Seth Hatchell. What was kind of going through your mind those last 20 or 30 laps you guys were battling?
Stopped looking at the mirror, and I couldn't. That was my biggest problem, but it was tough. Even before the caution, before the green flag pit stop, I was pushing hard just to even maintain 2 seconds, and I was probably pushing just as hard just to stay in front of Seth there. But I thought lap traffic was going to get in the way at the end. It was kind of, screwing up the rhythm and getting me to break loose a little bit, but I held it off to the end.
Now, this win tonight does lock your way into the Contender 12. Does that make your approach to Dover a little bit different?
Yeah, I'd say so. A little more relaxed. My job's probably pretty safe in points, but the win makes it a lot easier.
Well, you do start on the pole tonight. You come away with a win. You lead 140 laps, by far the most laps. Who would you like to give a shout out to tonight?
Shout out to my GAC crew for having fun with me every night we come racing, and Lazy Dayz Racing, and all the sponsors that put on the show every week.
Congrats on your win tonight. Congrats on locking your way into the Contender 12, and we hope to talk to you next week out at Dover.
Thank you. We'll see what happens. Have a good night.
That was Keith Mato, your winner here tonight. We'll go to second place, Seth Hatchell. Seth Hatchell, you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you definitely put the heat on Keith Mato tonight. How was the car for you tonight?
Car was really tight. It's so tight it was loose off the corners. It was a good race. I'm kind of frustrated with myself. I think I could have gone in there, but I just overdrove the car.
Now, what was your mindset going into, I guess, those final 20 laps? We saw you time and time again running faster laps than Keith. Were you keeping an eye on that relative, or were you just trying to focus in on hitting your points?
For the beginning of that last run, I was definitely watching the relative and whatnot, but with 20 to go, I didn't touch it, or I shut it off, that is. I just knew I had to stay with him until about 20 to go, and then I started trying to get by him, because once I got by him, I knew he couldn't pass me back. It's so hard to pass here.
Now, next week you guys do head to Dover. Do you think you got a chance of locking your way into the Contender 12 out there next week?
Yeah, I think I got a pretty decent shot. Got third last week, second this week. Dover's never been a great track for me, but as long as I keep the car clean, I should be fine.
All right, well, you do start 7th tonight. You come away with a second place finish, and you put on quite a show out there. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Got to thank you, Steven, with PBR. You guys do a fantastic job. Got to thank all the sponsors of SoMO, all the admins, Paul, all the great drivers, and got to thank my team.
Well, congrats on your second place finish, and we hope to see you next week out at Dover.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to third place, Joe Mitchell. Joe Mitchell, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, before we get into the race, I've got to say, I don't know if that is a scheme that Kyle Busch is going to be running later on this year, but that is a pretty nice looking scheme you had out there tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I believe he ran it last weekend. I tried to do it myself, and I failed miserably. And fortunately, there's people who are a lot better at it than I am, and I was able to use that one. So I appreciate the guys that do all the work and put stuff up on Trading Paints.
All right, well, let's get into this race tonight. You definitely, early on in the race, you were putting a lot of pressure on Keith. Obviously, the green flag stops kind of cycled into the result tonight, but how was the car overall for you out there?
It wasn't really too bad. Late in the run, it really didn't want to turn in the center of the corner, and then you would get really loose off. But I think all the guys did really well, just managing all that and putting on a great race tonight. It was a whole lot of fun. I stayed out so that I could at least get a bonus point, knowing that I'm already locked into the next round. So that was my only plan there, and I would have loved to have done it under green. I don't think I had anything for Keith there. He was super strong all night.
Now, you did talk about the bonus point being locked into the next round. We talked about last week about, are you going to, kind of lay back and just take as many points as you can while you're out here? Obviously, that wasn't the case. You were pushing hard, trying to get up there, and obviously trying to get a second straight win in the chase. But next week, you guys head to Dover. How do you think you'll be able to do out there?
I really enjoy that track. It's so much fun. Hopefully, we can have another great night there, too. I don't know. Something about the concrete tracks. I just like it. It appeals to me, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you start third tonight. You do come away with a third place finish. You also lead those 2 laps. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to thank you, Steven, at PBR Broadcasting, Paul, Aaron, Jeff, all the guys behind the scenes at SoMO that put all this stuff on. I'd like to thank all our sponsors for the league and everything that they do. I'd like to thank my teammates, Seth, Shane, Adam, Ryan. Just a great group of guys to race with, and we don't make it easy on each other. It's kind of fun that way. And I'd like to thank my wife and son also.
Well, congrats on your third place finish. Congrats on your win last week once again. And we hope to talk to you out at Dover.
Yes, sir. I hope so. We'll see you there.
All right, and that was Joe Mitchell, the third place driver here tonight. We do have chase result updates, but first let's go through tonight's results. The winner tonight would be Keith Maotto. Seth Hatchell would finish second. Joe Mitchell in third. Chris Samard in fourth. Lupe Gonzalez would round out your top 5. Adam Baker, would finish sixth. Stephen Burnett in seventh. Aaron Riley in eighth. David Howard Jr. in ninth. Ryan Neff would round out the top 10. Shane Papala in 11th. Kurt Davidson 12th. David Gainforth 13th. Justin Kern in 14th. Bob Skinner in 15th. Jim Locking 16th. Paul Zoda 17th. Jeff Glockner in 18th. Billy Howard 19th. Paul Cohen in 20th. And Ryan Gimmel would round out your field here tonight. Taking a look at the music really quick for you guys. We are going to take a look at this chase bracket as we will be moving Keith Maotto into the next round. How the next 10 file in, or excuse me, how the next 14 file in would be Seth Hatchell, Adam Baker, Stephen Burnett, David Howard Jr., Chris Samard, Lupe Gonzalez, Aaron Riley, Shane Papala, Kurt Davidson, Justin Kern, David Gainforth, Paul Zoda, Bob Skinner, Lynn McNeese will round out the chase field. So, with that, I'd like to thank the many supporters and sponsors of Southern Motorsports, as we'll look to see if we can get a better view of Keith Maotto's burn out there. But I'd like to thank the many sponsors that support Southern Motorsports, including iRacing World, O2 Dermaleaf, Cindy's Finds, Portside Jaguar and Land Rover, Joe Owen Towing, Amy's Jewel Sense, Hardy's CS Hobby, BZ Designs, and Lazy Dayz Racing. Thank you to the admins of SoMO, Paul Zoda, Aaron Riley, Joe Mitchell, and Jeff Glockner for allowing Parks Brothers Broadcasting to bring you all the racing action here tonight. Thanks to everyone at home, and make sure to subscribe to Parks Brothers Racing for your weekly Lazy Dayz Racing broadcast. Next week, SoMO heads to Dover for round 3 of the chase, and you can catch all the action live here on PBR Broadcasting. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.